Like, I was sitting there being selfish again. I'm like, how do I know this is going to work and I'm going to get what I want? And that's not what it's about at all. It's about being selfless.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing that got me to that, just like, okay, when you give a gift, I don't care what anybody says, it feels better to give than it does to receive. Welcome to yet another episode of Kosmo's Unfiltered. And this is going to be a good one today. I got my boy Wes here. Welcome, Wes.
It's like I never left.
It's like you never left. It's like you've been sitting there
Since
for a minute.
episode 1.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm really proud of you. This is episode 41.
Yeah. It's like dog years.
I know. It's going quick, though.
It is.
It's going quick. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for watching, no matter where you came from, video, audio. Thank you. And as always, we do this for free. So if you would share this with someone, we would greatly appreciate it. That is your price of admission. And without further ado, let's jump right into it and how to serve your tribe. I just realized I spelled that wrong.
Yeah, at least it's not sever.
Yeah.
Sever.
I just realized I looked down. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to have to change that on all of the documents now. Oh,
We'll let
funny.
it slide.
Well, thank you, bro. Hold on. I'm just changing it now.
I want to hear it. How to serve your tribe.
How to serve your tribe. Did I ever tell you about the time, what is that? Like the people do the DMT or whatever? You
Oh,
ever heard of
yeah.
that?
Because your body releases that when you actually die for real.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time my body, I went through that? I mean, I didn't take any of the, what do they take? They like lick a frog's ass or something?
Yeah, there's a few like that.
You got to do some shrama, dude, or see some
there's actually a guy on YouTube who that's what he does. He like goes and has these weird drug experiences. It's very trippy, but he did that.
No, I did it. I did it through breathing. You ever seen the Iceman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. And, dude, that's pretty legit, by the way.
What do you have to do again with the breathing? Like,
well, it's crazy how,
you just keep like breathing in, don't you?
no, it's a controlled breathing. But what happens, essentially, here's what happens. You over-oxygenate your body.
Yes.
And your body will release DMT, whatever it's called.
Wow.
And I didn't know that. And I actually like went into the psychedelic world. And this is a crazy thing, man. So imagine this. I am a skeleton. And all
It's
my
in
bones.
your world.
I could see myself.
Huh.
I was like I was laying in a creek bed.
You had an out-of-body experience.
Out-of-body experience. And it was all like the river rocks, the pebbles like that. You know, they're all round and smooth.
Yeah.
I was laying in it, and for some reason, I had a long headdress on. And I was a skeleton. I'm looking down at myself. And the only thing that I had inside of me was my brain, my heart, and my lungs. And we're sitting there doing this breathing. And as I would breathe in, like the river was probably 100 yards wide, and on either side was just a forest of trees. And as I would breathe in, I would like breathe like all of the water out of the river it would fill into me.
Jeez.
Does that make like?
Yeah.
Imagine this. Like,
yeah. Okay.
You know, it shrunk.
So
it got really small. But when I would breathe out, it would release the river. And as my tribe. My so-called tribe, my people started making their way out of the forest to the forest line. And I was sitting there and I was like, why won't they come out here? You know, why won't they come out? Because I felt like I was like the tribal leader.
Yeah.
And I realized it's because they were scared of me. A leader doesn't lead with fear. And that's how I used to do it. I would lead. You know, and I didn't realize I was doing it that way per se, but but then later on I did realize that. And then we did this for like an hour and a half.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then they started coming out eventually when I learned that my tribe is not here to serve me. I am here to serve them.
Yeah.
That's what a leader does. A leader serves his community. Period. End of story. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to knock me off this block. Hey, me and my DMT believe that shit. So that's what changed in my life. And I realized that I had to stop being selfish, because we're all selfish. I mean, the very first word that a child usually says is mine.
Yeah. Or no.
And no one taught them that.
Yeah.
Or we did teach them that subconsciously.
Sure.
Because we're humans. Humans are selfish people. And that's just the way it is. And here's just some notes I wrote down. Serving others without expectation of something that returns information, that will return information quickly. It will determine those who you should keep in your life and those that you can get rid of. Now, here's what I mean by that. Because anybody that's ever read my notes knows that it's about every fifth word. When you serve other people, your spouse, your friends, your employees, your coworkers, siblings, you can quickly determine who needs to be in your life and who you need to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You tracking?
Yep.
So if let's just assume that you're my brother and then my other brother Phil or Marcus, either one. I say, I'm going to do this. And I ask both of you something like, hey man, how can I help? And you say something like, well, you can do this or this or this, or, and I say, okay. And I say something to Phil, my other brother, and I say, hey, how can I help? And he said, well, you can help me do this, this, and this, and this. Well, and I'm just using a scenario here. You gave me a job to go do by myself. If you had something else to go do, like, I get it. But if I turn around and I see you sitting on your ass because you just gave me all your work, like, I'm going to go, this guy is like, he doesn't appreciate when people serve him. He takes advantage of it. And when people don't appreciate you serving them, they will take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Those people, gone. Quick.
Yeah.
Quick with me.
Before they hurt you.
Before they hurt you. And I just wished I'd have known that. Jamie, my wife, is phenomenal at this. Absolutely phenomenal. And she's the one that helped me teach us. But I wish I would have known this at a young age, Yeah. Because I just imagine how much further I could have made it down the road. But I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and they said, well, I'm not, my spouse isn't giving me what I want. And I said, because you're not giving her what she wants. And I didn't mean for that to be a soundbite, but that was.
Oh, say that.
Yeah. And he goes, what do you mean? I do this, this, and this, and this. I said, well, that's only important to you.
Yeah.
That's not important to her at all. Well, how do you know what is important to her? I said, well, the fact that you don't know tells me you don't know. You didn't ask. You're being selfish. You're telling her how she needs to act for you.
Yeah.
What you're saying to her is I need you to act this way so I can like you more. I said, how does that feel? Hearing that from me. I need you to act this way so I will like you more. He goes, that's not what I'm saying. I said, well, it may not be your intention. That is what you're communicating.
Yeah.
And that is what we do as selfish humans, is we communicate selfishness. I've never seen a fight not the root of that argument not be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen one. Not once. You didn't take out the trash. What you're really saying is, I need you to take out the trash.
Yeah.
I need you to take out the trash. You didn't, XYZ. Well, I need you to, that's how they all start.
Yeah.
And when I learn, and believe you me, I'm not sitting here on my high horse saying I'm the best at this. I'm learning. I'm taking baby steps. I try to ask people, and these are some things that I ask. And I'm going to hand it over to you because I would love. You are very good at this too. You serve people well. Anyways,
I'm glad you think so.
Here's some phrases that I've learned to say, and these may sound like very like kindergartenish, but hey, I'm just giving you mine.
It should be simple.
Yeah. How to serve others. This is the one that took me. Can I help? Shut up. Then I cleaned it up with, what can I do to help? And that's when, like if I see you doing something like packing up gear, something, hey man, what can I do to help? Here's one that I've learned with my spouse. Are you okay? Is there anything you need me to do? And then one, I would say, this is kind of cheesy, but I always say this when I walk in the office. How can I be of service? Like, what do you guys need?
Yeah.
How can I reduce pressure and noise in your life? And you've heard me say that before.
Yeah.
We used to say that quite a bit back in the day. How can I reduce pressure and noise in your life? And if you really want to help somebody reduce pressure and noise in their life.
Protect the margin.
Your spouse, your coworkers, your boss. And this is a great point. If you work for somebody out there and you're a shitty employee and you already know who you know if you're a shitty employee, you suck at this. And I only say that because I was a shitty employee.
You've had a few too.
I was a horrible employee. I'd do the work. I would, but I'd bitch about it the whole time. And I would bitch to anybody that had
2 ears.
Yeah. And they wouldn't fire me because I did the work, but I just bitched about it all the time. Rather than saying, hey man, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate the job.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, like you said at the beginning, it's selfish when you expect your particularly your spouse, I guess. Or it's almost like if with your kids, like when you're like the overbearing, like live vicariously through your kid's dad or whatever. Like you have to be a star athlete because I wasn't. Like you can want all the good things in the world for your kid, but at the end of the day, that's really selfish. Like if your kid doesn't want to do that, they should have some ability to choose. But with your spouse too, it's like your buddy, you can be convinced in your own mind that you're doing all the right things, but maybe that's just the way that you want her to be receptive of like your love and your whatever. Maybe she just needs something different. A lot of times Amy needs, like my wife, she like words of affirmation. And sometimes it's just hard for me. Yeah. Like it's like I just don't have them. You know what I mean? And like it's a struggle to like think of something because you go with what you say all the time. You know what I mean? You think you've like
you hit the top three.
You've met that need. You know what I mean? You have to like really be alone with it to like think about it. And it's but again, like it's not always like, well, I did the dishes. Well, I cleaned up. I mowed there's these memes going around. It's like, y'all, I just mowed this yard out here.
Yeah, I saw that.
I went inside to get paid, and she said, I'm not going to pay you. And I was like, well, why aren't you going to pay me? She's like, because we're married. And like, there's like all these dudes just showing off their mowers or all they want to do.
It's sad though. There's probably some dudes out there like that.
Yeah, they just give and get. It's really just about, understanding what those needs are and finding like creative ways to meet them. Because like Amy she will never like take time for herself. It takes a lot of effort to do that. But what we'll do,
she's selfless.
She is. And instead of like
Jamie's the same way.
Like we still go on dates and go to dinner and all that fun stuff. But like every couple like weeks or months, I'll go get her like just the works at some spa. And I know it's the place she likes, and it's not a cop out. It's not a like I didn't think about the gift. It's like to her that is like to give her that is like so much more than like But it would be selfish for me to like I'm gonna do this big monumental blah blah blah. Like she doesn't always need that. What she does need is time to herself to just be away, and that does more for her than anything I could like.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Understanding how that person's needs are met instead of trying to meet them with like what's the most convenient for you.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, like this was really hard for me, and it still is. It still is hard for me because now I'm like, let's say somebody comes into my tribe and I don't know them, like you're not gonna get the Jamie treatment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna treat you like I'm treating my wife.
No.
You're gonna get the hey, you need some help. That's why I start.
You need some help.
Hey, you need some help carrying that. It ain't. Hey man, you need me to come mow and water and rake your yard and all that. You're not getting that.
No, Jamie gets that.
But I heard this said. This is a funny joke. This is how. I'm not even gonna say it. I can't say it.
Is it too unfiltered?
I'll let me see if I can clean it up.
I don't think
There's even a good deal for both parties. There's always one party that gets a little bit better. And I used to tell people this. I know women enjoy sex more than men. And I would usually say that around women. They're like, how do you know? I'm like, well, have you ever got an itch in your ear? And when you scratch it, which feels better, your finger or your ear? You ever done that? You know that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
that's your...
Man, I'm totally off track.
You probably said that in every bar in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
You just, every single one.
When I started doing this, I was like, how do I know? Like, I was sitting there being selfish again. I'm like, how do I know this is going to work and I'm going to get what I want? And that's not what it's about at all. It's about being selfless.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing that got me to that, just like, okay, when you give a gift, I don't care what anybody says. It feels better to give than it does to receive. Like, I mean, just think about it. When your child opens a present on Christmas Day, like, and just like, oh my God, like just loves the
whatever,
the thing, or your wife or whoever, or you help somebody, you give somebody, $20 that's homeless or something like that. Like, you leave there, you just feel like a better person. And I'm sure that releases, some dopamine or something
Feels
in
good.
you that makes you feel better. But that's what I was like, okay, well, I don't know all the science behind it, but if that's true, then okay, I'm going to start doing it.
Yeah.
And I was telling you on the last episode how I started saying, hey, have a blessed day, and it sounds weird to me. And I feel like I'm, being less of a man. And that's like, that is absolutely
false.
Yeah. How would you be less of a man by wishing somebody that they had a blessed day? Hey, I want to wish you a good day, and but that's the shit. That's the story.
How
we tell
inconsiderate.
ourselves. So, serving your tribe. Yeah, that was a good episode.
It was good.
I would love to hear in the comments down below. You agree? Do you disagree? Did somebody burn you and ruin you for life and give you trust issues, and now you don't trust anybody? That was me. So, hey, I want to thank you for watching. Leave us a comment down below. Tag us at Kosmo Unfiltered, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.